Hey, everybody, welcome to the 100th episode of Wellness Blueprints. I'm Jess Milner. I'm so glad that you are here to nourish your roots with me for the 100th time. This is very exciting for me. I can't believe it. I can't believe my straps keep falling down my overalls here while I'm trying to talk to you. So this is a really, really exciting day for me. So, I want to go over like just some things. What are some lessons that we've learned? What are some things that we've changed or I've changed the ways that we are now viewing everything and what the hell actually matters? Because, health is a lot more simple and a lot less perfect than we get told. You know what I mean? It's like, we're told that it's supposed to be like this perfect thing, like you do this and this and this, and then you get better. And, everything is so cookie cuttered out and everything. And life is really just a lot more simple than all of that. I used to work at a fast paced environment in Jersey. And I mean, I really, really loved it. I had a good experience there. And I thought that I would continue that when I got here. But, the whole like go, do, that whole like thing, it doesn't necessarily equal success, and it can often lead to burnout. And this isn't just true with like a job. I mean, I have colleagues, that live out on farms and stuff, and when they go, okay, you know what, I'm going to take some more time at home to be there with nature and really, keep it simple, and then all kinds of stuff starts to improve. So this is really true with your health as well. I've seen it. There would be people that just have, like supplement sheets that are 3 pages long, and programs lasting several years. And of course, there's improvement in everything, but ultimately, there's just too much going on there, too much gunk piled up, and it just relocates. And with the toxins and the toxic, energetic aspects of everything that are just there's layering on there in your energy centers and everything. So when we get everything back down, like let's just, like let's focus more on the nervous system, right? Everything starts to fall into place more. So, what lessons have we learned? So that would be the first one. The nervous system matters more than a meal plan does. Okay. Because it doesn't matter how great you're eating. If your nervous system, if your body doesn't feel safe, then like you're not going to absorb everything properly. It's going to continue to be a big old mess. That's a great example here is, I had stuff that was so messed up. There was a time when chicken broth would give me an IBS attack. Yeah, my body was so unbelievably messed up on an not just physical, but a spiritual, energetic level as well. Oh, totally. That broth, it was rejecting broth. Wow. Okay. So there's that. All right. So what else? All right. Butter was never a problem, or any saturated fat for that matter. We've talked about this a couple of different times. I wrote a thesis paper on that. Actually, I wrote my capstone for my master's degree on saturated fats. And yeah, they're not the enemy. They were never the problem. You don't need as many supplements as you might think that you do. You don't need that brand new thing that's coming out I just had somebody send me something just last night. And I mean, the product might be awesome, but it's not for everybody. And they always will try and tell you that it's going to be for everybody, especially if it's like an MLM or something. And I'm not saying that MLMs are bad in and of themselves, and that doesn't mean that the product is bad if it's through an MLM. But please be wary of things like that. You don't need the new awesome thing. You're going to read stories. This made this person. You don't always need that new thing. Stick with what you're doing. Keep it simple. Okay. Don't confuse your body, because then your body gets overwhelmed. We don't like the overwhelm. Okay. Eating regularly really does solve a lot of problems. And this could mean, like, even if you are, if you're intermittent fasting, that is eating regularly. Your body does want to have some amount, if it's expecting more fuel, it is good to have some sort of a schedule, eating regularly. So, don't like forget to eat all day. I know it can be hard. We were talking about overwhelm. Overwhelm blocks healing faster than anything. How often have you gotten anxious about something, excited about something, worried about something, and you either come down with a hell of a cold or a flu, or you immediately get like a pain in your belly and then you're in the bathroom pooping? Okay. Overwhelm blocks healing faster than anything. Okay. And so when you're overwhelmed, yeah. And another one, you cannot out supplement stress or a bad diet. So, I mean, we would always say like, oh, it's a Minchex thing. There's a standard process supplement called Minchex, and it's fantastic. It's wonderful. It's minerals, helps to keep you a little bit more regulated and everything. And it really can be amazing. but it's not like like just taking min checks. Do I do this every week now? Is this what I do now? Okay. For those of you who cannot see, I just knocked over my microphone again. Did it last week too. Okay. Um, but it doesn't matter how much min checks you're taking. If you are still super stressed out and you're not able to get away from the things that are actually causing you stress in your life, then the min checks isn't going to do squat, right? Okay, here's a big one. I'm going to say this twice. Rest is productive. Rest is productive. You don't get a prize for burning the midnight oil when you were working on it all day long. Okay. You don't get a prize for that. Your body doesn't like that. Rest is definitely productive. So don't think that, taking a nap or giving yourself time to rest in the evenings when you feel tired is somehow like feeling defeated, because it's not. You're listening to your body, and that's a good thing. Not everything needs to be fixed. Okay. There are things, people are like, okay, well, now that I've noticed this pattern about myself, what do I do with it? Well, you don't really have to do anything about it. Now that you know that it's there, you're probably going to make different choices to change the way that the pattern cycles. So not everything has to be fixed. And this is true with, your physical health as well. When people would come in to see me and we're doing our muscle testing, they go, okay, they would give me a whole list. We go over everything, all the different things that are bothering this person, right? And there's going to be a ton of stuff because we all have all these symptoms, this, that, and the other thing. This happened to me this year, blah, 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 blah. That's all great. We don't have to fix everything all at once. Give a supplement for everything all at once. Same thing with lab work. We don't have to look at everything and go, okay, we're going to fix that. Not everything has to be fixed. There is a priority. There is a root, okay? So we go and find what order is the priority, okay? And we're going to make sure that your body takes in what it needs for that priority first. And then things are going to start to trickle down. And, they're like, okay, now that this area is feeling better, now we can focus on this area. So you may not need to actually go in and fix everything, because if you are able to go in, find that priority, find that root cause, then you are able to go from the bottom up. And then a lot of those symptoms are going to magically disappear as you're handling the other things. So, maybe you could have thrown a supplement at it to make that symptom go away right away, but it was just going to be masking it. It was probably going to pop out somewhere else. So not everything needs to be fixed. Okay. Kids don't need perfection, mama. Just regulation, nervous system, emotional, and this is true for you too. Okay. Simpler food often works better. Keeping it simple. You just a few ingredients. How many times have you gotten all excited and put a little bit too much spices in something, and then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have added that or something. But simpler food is, it works out better, and it's not as intimidating either. Okay, because you don't have to, be like a gourmet chef to be able to eat properly. Okay. It's actually very, very simple. Just eat real food. Okay. And, you like food different from what I like, and that's okay. So if you see me eating something and go, Jess, that looks gross, I don't want to eat that. That's okay. You can get the same nutrients eating real food of a different kind, and that's okay. I support that. Okay. On that. Okay. Trends. All right. Trends come and go. Your body does not. So be wary of who is peddling what. The same type of thing with the newest thing out there. You don't have to add in all of the supplements all of the time. Trends come and go. Your body doesn't. So don't confuse your body. Okay. And now most people are under eating and overthinking everything. I'm telling you, most women, we're not eating enough, especially as you get into perimenopause. I realized I wasn't eating quite enough in my 30s when I started to lose weight. That was the thing. When I was working out and people were like, oh, they were starting to get worried. Oh, because I dropped weight. I mean, it took me a year to drop the weight, but they were getting worried. Oh my gosh, it looks like you're not eating very much. I was eating more than I had been eating before, but it was nutrient dense. So, I might have been eating some crappy stuff in my 20s, of course, still do that now, I'm human, but a lot of this, that, and the other thing. So, what I was eating was changing, but I was definitely eating more. And I would tell people, I'm like, I eat more than my husband, always have. My husband, he's tall, but he's not big, he is slender. So, people were getting worried and everything. I'm like, listen, I'm telling you, I'm eating more food and moving my body in that way helped me to come down to the weight that I wanted to be at. And this ends up being the issue a lot of the time. And what happens, when we have babies and stuff, who has time to eat anything? You're putting a handful of trail mix in your mouth and you're lucky if you even get that before you run out the door. So, it's difficult for moms to like get in the amount of food that we are actually supposed to be eating on a regular basis, right? So, we're overthinking all of this different stuff and then not eating enough food to boot. But when we get into perimenopause, we tend to start to need even just a little bit more fiber. I mean, people disagree with that and everything, but some of the problems with your bloated belly, upping your fiber a little bit can probably help that. And I'm not a nutritionist that has ever been like, yeah, you need fiber all the time. I've never been somebody that like was toting that and everything, but going through beginning to go through this change and everything, just noticing these different the small changes in my own body and seeing what's going on with my colleagues and my peers. Yeah. Where we think, oh my gosh, I need to eat less. No, you don't. You don't need to eat less. You need to eat more of the correct foods for you. Okay. So don't overthink it. It's way simpler than you think so. Because here's the thing, if it feels complicated, it's probably not aligned. That's also true with almost anything, right? I mean, if you can't figure out a way to undercomplicate it so that you can manage it, probably not for you. Probably going to be a waste of your time. All right, what else have we learned? When an MD says your labs are fine, it's usually a lie. Healing is not linear. That's something that I've been saying for many, many years. And I don't care what somebody tells you, like, oh, if you take this and do this and do this, you're going to, but here's the steps, you're going to get better. Well, the problem with that is we're not machines. So, we are all operating somewhat differently. Okay. And yeah, so healing's not linear. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. Some days you're going to be like, oh my God, none of this shit is working. And I feel like I'm doing this for nothing. And the next day you're going to feel better and go, oh, okay, I guess I am okay. There's all kinds of stuff going on underneath the surface inside of you, both energetic, like energetic, emotional, and physical that you have no idea about. So give yourself some damn grace and give yourself another day because it's probably going to get better. All right. There's ups and downs and everything. And this is no exception. Your health is no exception. Here's another one. You don't need to earn rest. Just like when I said it more than once, that rest is productive. You don't need to earn rest. If you feel tired and you haven't done much that day, or you don't think you've done much that day, or you look at your to-do list at what you still didn't get done, that's okay. Like you're still allowed to rest. Your body like legit still needs rest. Okay. You need to be able to rest. Rest, digest, heal. You can't do any of that. You can't heal, can't digest properly. So you're going to be all bloated. Nothing's going to heal properly. You don't need to earn it. Just take your damn nap. Okay. Another one that we have learned, your labs. And now this is, your blood work, any genetic testing that you do, it always aligns with your energetic blueprint. Your energy centers will always align with those things because they are connected to your endocrine system. It always aligns. And it's so exciting to see. Your body is not working against you, and your body does not hate you. When there are things going on, I mean, I've said it before myself, like, oh my gosh, my uterus hates me because, I've got all these cramps right now. Or, I used to say it all the time. My stomach hates me. I can't even eat chicken broth without like having an IBS attack. Okay. It was not my body hating me. That was my body giving me signals like, yo, you need to listen to me. Something's not right here. Funnily enough, me just doing all the normal things that I had been doing for years wasn't changing anything. So, it was a big part of my journey to dig into that. But your body doesn't hate you. It's there working. It's there supporting you. Okay. And giving you signals. So, give it some love. All right. Real food wins every single time. Real food wins. Okay. You're allowed to change your mind about what is healthy. You're allowed to change your mind about what is healthy for you. You are allowed to look at new evidence and go, you know what? I think I'm going to change my mind on this particular topic because of what has been brought in front of me. That is not only okay. So from my standpoint, it's professional. It is showing that I do have a scientific mind that is open to change, that I can look at other perceptions and, be willing to learn. Because what did I do in school? I learned. And I learned what I learned in school, which is what we knew at the time. But as that changes, when we learn new things that we can apply to those things, that can change your mind on certain things, maybe not for every single patient. So, if you learn something new, maybe it doesn't necessarily apply to you, but you can look at it and go, okay, I think that this is going to work for someone else. Um, so it's okay to change your mind about certain things when you're given new evidence based on what is healthy and what is not. And actually, if you refuse to change your mind and you double down even when new evidence is presented, that's actually a sign that there's some, emotional immaturity going on. And, that, yeah, energy centers. Yeah, we need to, yeah, yep, that's, we need to work on the energetic body before the physical in that kind of a case, right? All right. All right, where am I on my listy list here? Okay, consistency beats intensity. Now, this is true for like things like working out. All right, consistency beats intensity. You don't have to go in there and do balls to the wall, crazy intense workouts every single day. In fact, I urge you to not. There are times when you want to decrease the intensity, decrease the weights. There are times there's a time for super heavy weights, there is a time for crazy cardio, and then there's a time for doing things in between. And it's a good idea to follow somebody. Like, I mean, I'm always following something on my body app because I'm not going to a gym with a trainer, but I do encourage you to follow something that is going to give you some good guidance on, when to take a rest day, when to do this and this and this, because sometimes we just don't know. You're not supposed to work out every single day. We do need some rest in between things like that, but maybe not this many days. And it's going to be different for different people, okay? But just be consistent with it, okay? It doesn't matter how crazy it is, be consistent. And that's the same thing with your diet, with your supplements. Yes, you want to remember to take your supplements every day, the ones that are important for you to be taking right now. But if you forget them, you don't just throw them all in the trash and just say, forget it. You don't have to be crazy intense with it in order for it to work. Your intention there in your consistency is going to play a bigger role than you give it credit for. So absolutely stay consistent with it. If you miss a couple of days, no big deal. Okay. Dust yourself off and get your ass back to it. You're going to do fine. Okay. And you don't need to do everything to feel better. Okay. And that goes along, you don't have to do, you don't have to get like the super expensive red light therapy thing for your house necessarily. I mean, if you want to get one, I mean, great. There's all kinds of stuff that it's really, really awesome to have in your house, or to be able to afford to go and get all the time. You don't have to do everything. So maybe you're going to pick a thing or two, something that's going to be really good for you, and just stick with that and stick with knowing that the intention for that is freaking awesome and that you are going to benefit from that. And that's it. Okay. You don't have to do every single thing that you see out there, even though you might want to. Okay. All right. So what have I changed? So I went from, wanting to kind of be able to do absolutely everything to focusing on the nervous system first. And this is true for my personal life and for my work. Okay. And I think that it should be true for everyone's personal life and work and your health journey, like all of it. Nervous system first, because everything else is going to be in shambles if we can't get our vagus nerve to just be happy and allow us to rest, digest, and heal when we're supposed to, because that's really what's happening. If our nervous system is not being focused on, you're not resting properly, you're not digesting properly, you're not healing properly. And then you're sitting there going, I'm doing all the things. How come everything still sucks? Nervous system, baby. All right. Simplify nutrition. Okay, we don't need to make it more confusing. Okay, simple recipes, simple ideas. Like, yeah, you probably need to be eating more. Yeah, you probably need to be getting more plants into your life. Plants are medicine, guys. You want to make sure you're getting about 30 plants in every week. Now, I don't mean that you need to have like 30 different vegetables. You're sitting here going, well, I had broccoli and then green beans. What else can I? Put spices and, herbs, season your food. That's going to add into there. Those things are medicine. Add it all in there. Don't make it more confusing though. Just make it yummy. Okay. Real food and make it yummy. Does it taste good? Good. Okay, good. All right. Listen to your body and listen to your energy too. Okay. Your energy, once you can kind of stop and observe that some of the physical things that you feel are actually emotional energy in your body, then you can kind of go, oh, okay. One of the first ways that I started to realize it was when I get like really intense emotions. Sometimes I can feel it in the palm of my hands. I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, I can feel my emotions in my hands. And it's just kind of like this emotional thing, and it's radiating. And I noticed that it was coming from a certain chakra. It was coming from one of my energy centers. And it's just, there's nothing I needed to do about it. It's just, okay, I'm noticing this. So you can feel physical things in your body, and those are actually energy. And this is why, some people are going in for different therapies where they're pushing on places in their backs and that have been really jacked up for years, focusing on certain emotions. And it's actually hugely related to that emotion that needs to be felt through and out. And that's why it's stuck there. Okay. Your body hangs on to all this stuff. So listen to your body, listen to your energy too. Okay. Try to get less of it, stuck. You're going to still get it stuck. It's okay. It's normal. Like, humans get energy stuck. That's what we do. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. What else have I changed? I don't chase perfection anymore. I really did for a long time think that I shouldn't do something unless I knew I was going to be the best at it, unless I knew that everything was going to be perfect and all my ducks were in a row and everything was absolutely where it needs to be. And the truth of the matter is, that's like, when you wait around for the right time never comes. You do not need to chase perfection in any avenue of your life. Why? Because it is impossible. And it's just going to keep you stuck in a cycle of resentment and scarcity. And it's just not a pretty place. And for a lot of us, it's really difficult to let go of that perfection, right? Because it's like such an ingrained part of you. Like, you need to get straight A's, get a better job, get a better, get into a better school. You need to be the best at this, and blah, blah, there's a lot throughout our lives where, we want to be the best at something, and we feel like we need, and even though if we're not like, okay, the best, but it's still, it's still a perfectionism thing there where we're just like, okay, everything has to be right where it needs to be and then never get moved. And that's a trauma response. Okay. So what actually matters? Feeling safe in your own body. How often are you tense? And we're probably all tense like so much more often than we even realize it. Like my LMT, she's like, are you like lifting weights in your sleep? Like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm probably like tensing up more often than I realize. So this is a normal thing. And I'm here telling you, like, yes, I'm Jess. I'm future Dr. Jess over here telling you that, yes, I struggle with these things too. Why? Because I'm freaking human, just like you. I mean, I've studied more about this. I've learned more about this, but I'm human too. Feeling safe in your own body is it's something that takes some work to fully embrace. Okay, so don't feel bad, but every day just remind yourself that you've got everything you need right inside your body. You've got everything you need and you can handle this. Okay. All right. What matters? Eating enough. Eating enough nutrients, because we talked about this. You can be eating all kinds of like this, I mean, you could be going to fast food and whatever and like eating lots of food that's really really low in nutrients and high in processed blah. Processed is not necessarily bad. Ultra processed is not good. You should not be eating it doesn't have good density of nutrients. No. So eat enough, but eat enough of the right foods. Okay. What matters? Rest and rhythm. Rhythm with nature. Get outside. Look out, like, get outside and breathe in the spring air. I mean, we're in a time of year where we can get outside and do more things. But being more in tune with what's going on outside with our animals, with our homes, and making sure that we rest. Give yourself some kind of rest and rhythm. Reducing overwhelm. I mean, this is just the reducing overwhelm. Overwhelm is actually it's an emotion that comes up a lot in emotion codes. And usually it's like most of the time, honestly, it's rather recent. It'll be like, oh, recent worry, recent overwhelm, and I mean, people get overwhelmed, people get worried. But reducing that, trusting yourself, that's important. Reducing that so that you can trust yourself to get things done without completely freaking out over everything. That really does matter. And because when we're overwhelmed like that, we're unable to remember or remember even a glimpse of who we truly are. We're born into this world, and then all of these things are built up on top of us with our upbringing, our culture, just childhood and living life in this place. So all of these things get piled up on there in different ways because we're all different, but these things all get piled up on there. And they make us forget, who we used to be before all of these things were piled on top of us, before we had all of these views and all of these opinions that were, some of them were given to us, some of them were taught to us, some of them we learned on our own and made our own choices with. But all of that stacked on top, we just don't remember, who she was. Like, who were we? Who was I before all of this? So, joy can help to bring that down. Joy is absolutely a nutrient. So I want you to find something to take joy in every single day. That really does matter. That really is a big deal. Find something that makes you super joyful every day, something that you can just sit back and smile and go, okay, this is great. Even if it's just like, oh, well, maybe you're like dealing with the stomach flu or something, right? And you're like, Jess, my kids are throwing up, but okay, so maybe they threw up 3 times instead of 7. I don't know. Find something to bring you joy. There's always a little bit of something there because it absolutely is a nutrient. So if you're not able to find joy in your life, then that's pretty concerning. So that trust yourself to bring in that joy, that nutrient. So your body, it's never been the problem. It's been supporting that you inside of you the whole time. So it's okay to try and heal her. Okay. It's okay to try and remove some of that gunk so you can see better what it is that she needs healed. Because that's where the true healing will come in, when you start to realize that, wow, these things that I learned that I didn't think were physical at all are actually playing a huge role in insert health issue that you're dealing with now here. So it's really, really amazing. So yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed some lessons, some things that we've changed and what matters. I thank you so much for this 100 episodes. I really can't even believe it. This is just so awesome. So please, I hope that this was great for you. Hit that subscribe button. Please leave me a 5-star review. Share this with your friends. Celebrate with me 100 episodes. So it's so exciting. Remember, you are more than just the sum of all of your parts, okay? You're more than the sum of all of your physical parts, and you are more than the sum of all of your emotions, okay? So we can dig in there. We can remove some things out of the way to remember, so that you can remember who the hell you really are underneath of all of that, all right? You are not just the sum of this, that, and the other thing. You are truly an essence underneath all of that. And that's what I want to do. Thank you for 100 episodes of me showing you how to dig through and find your true essence. I'm so freaking glad that you guys have been here. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. 100 episodes. Like, I cannot even begin to believe that this has been 100 episodes. It doesn't seem like it's been that long at all. So I appreciate everybody so much. Thank you so much for all of the listens over the last almost 2 years of creating 100 episodes of Wellness Blueprints for you. Love you guys.